Just get one coming around,
Beside
please.
me, Katie.
Katie. Katie, everyone could come in a bit closer for me, please.
Katie, come a bit closer to me, yeah.
In, please. Everyone in.
Managing
Happy
Come on,
family,
Barry.
big announcement.
Yes.
Let's go. Next to the minister, please.
The Magic Millions stand
There we
over.
are. Everyone ready? Cameras. Thank you.
Already. Well, good morning, everyone, and it's great to be here. Another fantastic Magic Millions here on the Gold Coast. And as Minister, I couldn't be prouder to be surrounded by these wonderful people here. Of course, Barry Bowditch, Jerry and Katie, and we've got Jane from the RQ board, Brendan, we've got Brett Cook from the Turf Club here on the Gold Coast, and there's so much excitement happening here at the moment because of this wonderful event. And as Minister, we very much support racing in the state, and it's fantastic to see it going from strength to strength. What we are about to announce today is we're obviously kicking off the Magic Millions with the wonderful polo and show jumping, and how wonderful is this event here this morning. And there are so many things to do during the whole week, and the exciting, of course, event next Saturday with the race. We had one yesterday, which was exciting as well, but the big Magic Millions race on the Gold Coast Turf Club, undergoing a $63 million investment, which will see the Magic Millions grow over the next 2 years. And I know Barry is very proud of this with Katie and Jerry, to around a $20 million event. This event this year is worth about $11.75 million, and with additional race meets that we'll be having by 2025, with additional prize money that we'll be investing in the Magic Millions, we will see this event in 25 grow to a $20 million investment. We will see record number of tourists coming by that time, and wonderful economic benefit flowing from it to well over the $40 million mark that we are seeing here at the moment. So what we're exciting to announce is that in 2024, next year, there will be additional prize money for our 2-year-old and 3-year-old guinea races, and they will increase by $1 million to $3 million per race. And this will mean that we will see next year an investment of $14.75 million in the Magic Millions total. It will maintain the Magic Millions lucrative standing as the only race in the Southern Hemisphere to host 8 $1 million races, plus races on the same card, which is extremely exciting. In addition, in 2024, after the $63 million investment in May, we will see the Gold Coast National Yearling Sales coordinating with our Magic Millions National 2-Year-Old Classic, run over 1,000 metres, and that's a $1 million race card right there happening next year. Even better, in 25, the introduction of more racing, a $5.2 million investment on a Friday night race meet, and of course it will include additional $3 million slots and additional increase in prize money. It's very exciting. I could go on and on about it, and I know that everyone standing behind me is so exciting that racing in Queensland is growing, and that this event will become one of the premier racing events in Australia, in the Southern Hemisphere, with all the increase in funds. So I think Barry and Katie and Jerry may want to say, I know Jerry may want to say a few words, but I might go to Brendan first from Racing Queensland. Thank you, Brendan.
Thank you, Minister Grace. It's an absolute delight to be here this morning to announce the Gold Coast will be sparkling over the next 2 years. The introduction of new carnival meetings under lights, with the new $63 million infrastructure spend on tracks and lights, will see 2 new carnival days, both under lights. So next year in May, Magic Millions footprint extends into winter as part of the biggest breeding sale in the Southern Hemisphere, and then the following year a new race meeting under lights on Magic Millions Eve. Why is this important? The number of midnight visitors the Gold Coast attracts. This wonderful showcase behind us, as Katie proudly points out, more than half of the horses competing in the polo this afternoon are off-the-track racehorses, showing a genuine love for the future homes for our animals. And Magic Millions will continue their regional investment with upgrades to Rockhampton, Mackay, Townsville and Cairns Guineas, and to the Gold Coast Turf Club. Brett Cook, what a great project, racing under lights The Gold Coast will sparkle next January when the lights go on for the first time. The first race meeting on the new synthetic takes place later this month, and with the support of Minister Grace and her government, this has all been made possible with Tourism Events Queensland, Gold Coast City Council and Magic Millions right behind it. But to the Managing Director of Magic Millions, it's a delight to work with Katie and Jerry and Barry. I'll let them explain all of the new races.
Yeah, thank you. Firstly, thank you to the Minister Grace for her support of racing, the support of Magic Millions, and to Brendan from Racing Queensland. It's a fantastic announcement, and to the support of Brett Cook, Gold Coast Turf Club. It's great to be able to announce this exciting new carnival, or not new carnival, but it was a game changer. We went to 10 million. It was the first $10 million race meeting in Australia back in 2016, and to take it to a whole new level, 20 million over 24 hours. It's extraordinary, it's exciting. The detail of it, as Minister Grace says, next year, $14.75 million in prize money, 11 races on one day, including a $3 million two-year-old race, the Magic Millions Classic, the richest race in Queensland, then a $3 million three-year-old race, plus 2 new additional races. The next year, in 2025, we take it to a whole new level. 6 races under lights, including a $3 million three-year-old sprint for slot races for all comers, not just Magic Millions horses. That night will be worth $5.25 million, and then the next day worth almost $15 million in prize money, including the races that were announced for the 2024 series. So exciting initiative. It's great for all our participants. We're keeping up, and I think we're spreading the pie, so there's so many different participants that can win these races and take a share of the Magic Millions prize money. Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you, Barry.
Yep.
Does Jerry or Kate want to say a few words? No? Okay, thank you very much, and we're happy to take any questions on the Magic Millions. Everything okay there? All right, thank you very much. It's very exciting. And I know there's other questions that people want to ask, so I'll thank you all very much, and I'll take the other government questions.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Heidi. Do you want to lock it off and come out?
Okay. Okay, any questions?
I might start with the death of the drag race synthetic ad on Willowbank last night. I guess this race harnesses a new structure of the track. Reforms needed to make it safer. Do we need to revisit the camera stance?
Yes, in regarding to the Willowbank tragedy last night, can I say we're very saddened to hear of the death of Mr. Fennick, and obviously our heart goes out and condolences to family and friends. Look, at the moment, obviously the forensic crash unit and my department, the workplace health and safety inspectors, are on site inspecting the facilities there at Willowbank. So the investigation will take place. Obviously there'll probably be a coroner's investigation as well. So let's wait on the outcome of those investigations. But everyone is already on site, and our deepest sympathies to family and friends of Mr. Fennick. A very tragic event, adding to the terrible tragedy that's already happened this year in 2023.
Will things like the height protecting spectators is only 2 metres tall, is that something that needs to be considered as well?
Yes, look, the investigation unit and the particularly the forensic crash unit will, I think, look at all of that. My department will look at it from a holistic health and safety perspective. So we will look at all of the issues surrounding what occurred, what can we do to make it safer. We'll let the investigation take its course. We'll wait on any recommendations or anything that we need to act on, and the government won't hesitate to implement.
Obviously witnessed by many people, is support being offered to those people?
Yes, my department really does step in, and if there are people who are wanting support, my department will be working with the Willowbank facilities and ensure that anyone who needs support, please contact them, and my department will ensure that we provide the support that is required.
Pivoting to, I guess, I know Another big tragedy this year, the SeaWorld helicopter crash. Almost a week on, is the state government looking at creating any sort of permanent memorial for the victims of this crash?
Oh yes, in regards to a memorial, look, I don't think anything is ever off the table. I mean, obviously we're in the middle of investigations here now. There are a number of fingers that are looking at this with the Australian Transport Bureau, the Airways Bureau. We have the coroner. My department has a watching brief. We have the QPS. We have CASA. Let's see how the investigations go, and obviously we'll talk to the families and the friends in relation, but no decisions been made about a memorial yet. It is early days, but nothing's off the table.
No one from SeaWorld Helicopters, the company, has spoken to media in person. Should they have done so at this point?
I think that's a question probably better related to them. I know that they are cooperating with all of the investigations. Their time at this time, I think, is really to make sure the safety of the survivors and obviously making sure that they can get all their statements in place. But I think that's a question you can put to them.
This morning, Peter Dutton criticised the lack of detail in federal Labor's plan on the Indigenous voice in Parliament. Any response from that, obviously recognising the state?
Yeah, look, it's a federal issue, and I think the Prime Minister was pretty clear on this when he went to the election, that he'll be implementing the Uluru Statement from the Heart. I think details will follow. I believe he's made a statement in relation to Peter Dutton's, but look, let's take politics out of this. We want to implement the Uluru Statement of the Heart. The state government's on board. The federal government went to the people of Queensland and Australia in relation to implementing the Statement from the Heart. So let's let the process take its course, and it's been around now for over 5 years, so people should be well and truly aware of what the statement has to say, but I'm sure all that detail will come from the federal government in due course.
Minister, should the Premier come back early from holidays to deal with issues like youth crime that is very much increasing?
I think we've dealt with the issue of youth crime. We have a comprehensive plan going forward. There is not one solution to this issue. As Acting Minister, I'm well aware of the work that goes on from all sectors to try to ensure that we minimise youth crime as much as possible. We've got a comprehensive plan that we will implement, and we will do it this year. Cabinet will meet very soon in January, and we'll be on the course to implementing all of those plans that we have announced.
The Premier being on leave doesn't...
Oh, look, this is the first time the Premier has been on leave now for 7 years. So I think the Premier obviously announced the plan before she went away. We have the Deputy Premier, Stephen Miles, Acting Premier at the moment. I'm acting in a number of portfolios. Cabinet will be here soon. We've announced a comprehensive plan, and we will implement that plan as soon as possible.
One last thing, Minister. What is the state government doing to revitalise the suburbs surrounding the international cruise terminal?
Yeah, look, I think it's wonderful that the international cruise terminal, after about a 3 years hiatus, has finally come back, which is great to see. And obviously, what we've done with the cruise terminal at Pinkenba is a great demonstration of the Palaszczuk government working hand in hand with the private sector. It's an amazing terminal. We're happy to work with the Brisbane City Council to obviously beautify that area. I don't live too far. I remember driving out to Pinkenba. It's always been an interesting, commercial, industrial site of Brisbane. I'm sure there's more we can do, but look, I think we should be very proud that we've got an international cruise terminal. We're welcoming tourists to Brisbane. Beautiful city that Brisbane is, and that it's good to see the cruises start, and we'll work cooperatively with Council to see what we can do to make that journey into the beautiful city of Brisbane in my electorate as lovely as it possibly can be.
I guess you sort of touched on it. I guess for the government, it's not necessarily an appealing location to welcome our international tourists as it stands currently.
Well, it's not as beautiful as the inner city of Brisbane, which is in my electorate. There's no doubt about that. But the cruise terminal is wonderful. There's a lot of activities that those passengers can do once they arrive in Brisbane. And if there is a bit of tidying up to do, now that they're back on deck, now that we've got the facilities, we can certainly work with Council to see what we can do if there's anything we need to do to improve it. But we've got to work with the private sector. We do that extremely well in providing the terminal to start off with, and whatever we can do, state government and council, we can work together and make that tourist destination even better than what it is today.
The council's accused the state of failing to invest more money into it. What's your response?
Oh, look, I think we need to work cooperatively together. I think that that's something. What proposals? Let's work cooperatively. Let's not throw stones. Let's do what we can. We've got the terminal. We've got the tourists coming back. Let's be happy about that and let's move forward together.
And finally, transport seen as one of the big issues. How do you think?
Oh, look, I think that's something we need to work together on. Transport is always an issue, and let's see what we can do. Remember, we've had a 3-year gap here. We've only just welcomed the international cruises back to Brisbane. We've got a world-class facility now, and we look forward to introducing whatever we need to make that tourism destination a world-class event. There's no doubt about it, but working together, getting it all done is something that we can look forward to.
Congratulations on the announcement. I've just got to turn this one off very quickly.
We're all done. We're all good.
We're done.
Thanks very much.
Well done. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Congratulations.